Don't be
Hey guys. Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back. I know it's been a minute. So today I wanted to create something special for Mental Health Awareness Week. If anyone doesn't know, this week is all about raising awareness around mental health. There's been a lot of shows, there's been a lot of content, and definitely wanted to contribute to that and make something special. So today I'm joined with the beautiful Ankara Ray.
Hi guys.
And what we're going to do is talk about mental health from a slightly different perspective, I think, and maybe one of like a spiritual perspective. I think there's a lot of psychological perspectives and diagnosis and things like that, but I think where I am is sometimes I just like to look at things from like a very energy life perspective, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And why maybe some of us are experiencing certain feelings and emotions due to the consequences of maybe something that we're doing, thinking, or feeling. So, yeah.
We should talk about like, personal experiences because where I'm coming from when I share kind of my thoughts around, to be specific, depression. Depression, I suffer from anxiety now and again, but I found that it's been easy to master that one. But with depression, that was something that I stayed in for so long, and it's only when I've come out of it and I've felt better that I've noticed that, oh my god, like, so I haven't always felt like this.
Yeah.
When I feel better, I've had something to compare it to. When I was in it, I was oblivious to like what energetic state I was in. It's only when all of a sudden I come out of it and I'm thinking, yo, where have I been?
Yeah.
Where have I been? You know, have you ever been through an experience where it's like you miss yourself?
Yeah. It's like I haven't even been here. It's kind of just been like some survival mode almost.
Like autopilot.
Definitely.
So I've realised, like, I like to learn, I like to reflect. I don't want to keep going through the same cycles and the same things over again. So I'm always like, okay,
I'm telling you this way, going on.
yeah, I've been through this, but what caused it? Because we ain't got time to keep being depressed. We've got shit to do.
Exactly.
So I realised that depression's always come at a time where it's like I'm in a conflict with myself. It's something deep down that I've wanted to do, and I'm in conflict. Part of me saying yes, go for it, and the other part of me saying no, don't. And I found that I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
But on the fence is a painful place to be.
Yes.
So it's like I've checked out. I'm no longer here in essence wise. I'm just going through day to day to day. But the juiciness, the orgasmicness, the essence of Patrice who I am is nowhere to be found.
I hear you. And I could relate to that because it's like I realised that one of my kind of coping mechanisms was like avoidance. Just avoid. Like I can still do it now, but at least I notice it and I'm like, okay, Rem, you know, you're gonna have to address this some way or another. But my natural mechanism is avoidance. So for me, when I've like been very down and depressed, it's because I'm avoiding dealing with something that is either causing me quite a lot of pain or uncomfortable feelings, and instead of kind of maybe doing the hard thing that I perceive to kind of dig it out and deal with it once and for all, I'm kind of retreating and
So,
basically keeping all that emotion inside, and that's very draining energy wise to keep avoiding. You have to keep very busy actually to stop thinking, and you're actually trying to, for me, like numb the feelings. So then for me that's like literally being in bed. Like that is I know what sign if I'm not cool is when I'm just sleeping loads. Like I'm not a big sleeper. I'm a morning person. I like to get up, go for runs. I'm quite active. So when I'm doing stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, okay, sign that I'm in super avoidance mode, really.
I think it's beautiful when you can actually recognise, like, you know yourself, so you know, like, when you're not up to scratch or you feel like you're a bit out of balance, you're like, hang on a minute, this isn't like me. What's up? Because you know what I find? Like, sometimes if I communicate with someone and I say, oh, you know what, I've been depressed, and I tell them what I'm going through, like, that doesn't sound like depression. But again, because I know myself, I'm just like, this is what my depression looks like. Just because I'm not crying every 5 minutes or doing this and that, it doesn't mean I'm not going through some kind of imbalance within me that's causing my life force to be drained and me not to be able to have any motivation to actually do basic things. That's what it's like. If I'm depressed, you'll see dirty dishes. That's what my depression looks like, dirty dishes. It looks like me not cooking. I don't want to be in the kitchen. I was saying earlier to my partner that, like, every time I go through any kind of depressed phase, I notice, like, the kitchen is the last place I want to be in. And we've got to be very careful when we're, like, cooking and we're making things, because what energy that you're in, you're giving that energy to the food as you're preparing it. So I feel like naturally my spirit knows you ain't in balance. You don't want to be cooking for no one. Just keep you out the kitchen. You're gonna do that. So I think, like, on an energetic level, you know, it's just like, no, stay out there. And you know, also, I always say that my kitchen is the heart chakra of my home. It's where the love is. It's where that passion is. It's where the natural joy is. So if you're not feeling that, or sometimes to cook would actually make you feel better because it's something that you want to do. But a lot of the time when you're in that depressed state, what makes you feel better, the medicine in that, that's the last place you're gonna go. Because a lot of the time the key is always within yourself to make you feel better, because it's just a mental state. You change states all the time.
And I love what you picked on about life force drained, because I feel like I'm laughing because it's just so true. Like, that's exactly what it feels like. Like, you do not have energy to do anything. So it is like your life force. What gets you up in the morning, what tells you, yep, come on, we've got things to do. You get that joy, you get that excitement, it's just completely gone. And it's funny because I know we were talking before about also ignoring your emotions. So doing the things that you know you really shouldn't be, because when you do them, it's almost like, do you remember Blind Man Buff back in the day? Did you ever play that game? Okay, I think it's a very probably thing, Blind Man Buff was where, and forgive me for my voice, guys, I had some hay fever attack, so I sound like I'm getting over flu. But it was basically, as a child, you used to put a blindfold on one person and then turn off all the lights, and different people used to, you can either hide yourself or hide things around the room.
Oh, okay.
And then when that person used to get close to it, you say hotter or colder.
I know what game you're talking about. I didn't know that was what it was called.
I think actually I might even mix it up. I feel like there was that game, but there's definitely Blind Man Buff as well, where I think you had to find people with a blindfold on. But either way, you would shout to that person warm if they're close, or you'd say cold if they're far. And I feel like that's how my emotions speak. So if I feel like I'm doing something, maybe just initially the first or the second time, and I feel drained, I feel like that's a sign, like maybe that's not for you. Because like already I can feel life force leaving.
Definitely. It's like, I'm at the door, I'm not backing with you now. You're on your own, girl. Like, you're on your own. Like, this is like what we're signed up here for. Spirit didn't sign up for you to do the opposite thing of what you were given every tool inside yourself to do. So if you're not going to use that, Spirit's just like,
I'm out.
Deuces.
And hence why you just feel so tired. Mentally, physically and spiritually, I feel. And so that's where I feel like the signs are. So it's like, for me, if I get to that point, it's because I'm not listening again. It's like, I know this is draining, I know I don't want to do it, and I'm still doing it. So what was really gonna happen eventually?
I hear. You know? I feel like we naturally always know what we want to do, but then we've got the logical, rational, good girl conditioned side of us. It's like, well, actually the ideal thing to do would be this. And I think sometimes the more we go towards these ideals that in actual fact aren't really what we want, not deep down, the more that's your soul energy saying, this is what I want, but then you're using your mental energy to navigate and divert from the actual truth of what you really desire.
100%.
It's like,
and again, it's
train
that conflict, it's that splitting. That is where your energy is just draining out, just pure friction. Do you know what I mean? Pure push and pull, where you really want to go left, even though this is right. You really want to go right, but your energy is pulling you left. Like it's a drain just to even be. If that makes sense.
Definitely. I've experienced days when I've just felt so almost like at war with myself, and it's because I think about something and it's like I'll talk myself out of it, and I'll be okay for a bit, and the same thing will pop back up, and I'll talk myself out of it so many times that it's just like, okay, I've just got to choose me. I've got to stop trying to want to do the right thing and the ideal thing. I've just got to go with what my heart's telling me to do, because it's a sad place without that heart energy.
I hear you. So I feel like, what do you think has helped you kind of move from those places? Because I love to talk about like our experiences, but also kind of how we navigate them and use tools or whatever we use to overcome them. So what do you feel like has helped you move out of like a down or a low place and make some progress?
I'd say self-inquiry, definitely, and accountability. If I know that I'm responsible for what's going on with me and it's not something, a condition that's outside of my control, now I'm taking my power back. The moment I label it as a condition that's outside my control, it's like there's no hope, because how would I ever control that? But if I know that, hang on a minute, let's just do some self-inquiry, like, what is the root? What am I not listening to inside myself? What am I going against inside myself? Because there's a reason why I'm unhappy. Because a lot of the time it comes from unhappiness, unfulfillment. You're not serving yourself in some kind of way.
150 million%. I've literally so true. And it is, I feel like for me it's come through, a lot has come through like career, you know, like doing jobs. Honestly, the quickest way to kill me is doing jobs I don't want to do, or just spending a lot of time not doing what I want to do. And I feel like sometimes in society can be made to feel a little bit irresponsible. Do you know what I mean?
Most
if
definitely.
You're not doing what is expected, especially maybe by those around you. So it's almost like you're trying to fulfill someone else's expectation rather than your own. And so for me, I had to do a lot of work to like, one, unlearn trying to live up to people's expectations. One, I'm still unlearning it. And two was then, after doing that, actually, okay, who am I and what do I want?
Yes.
Away from that. And that's like a whole nother learning process. So I think the best things that I did was do more of the things that brought me joy, really.
Yeah.
Because it was just the complete opposite of what was draining me. Does that make sense? And even if there was a time when, like even now, I'm trying to leave the career I'm in to go into what I want to do full time. But it's like I still make time, even though it's inconvenient sometimes, to do things I want to do, because I need to keep that balance.
The fuel you don't know.
Exactly.
Literally, fuel you. It's passion. Passion is the energy of life. Like when you get up and it's like, oh my god, I've got a new day. I know what I want to do this and that. It's that excitement. If that excitement's not there, excitement is an energetical force. It's the energy that gets you ready and gets you prepared to do what you need to do. So if you haven't got any excitement in your life, then the energy that's meant to prepare you and get you ready isn't going to be there. So you're waking up and you're there looking around and you've got no energy or motivation to even get out of bed, even do your hair. It's like you're not showing up for life, therefore you've got nothing to show up for.
I feel like we just need a minute of silence. You're not showing up to life, therefore you've got nothing to show up for. Wow, that's deep, you know. It's so true. And it is, and I feel like there is something about like waking up in the morning. It's like wanting to live your life. That's how deep it is.
100%.
Sometimes wanting to sleep is like, nah, I don't want to do today. Or I have woke up and been like annoyed that I've woken up. That's when I know shit's bad. When I'm annoyed that I've woken up, then I'm like, yeah, there's something really needs sorting ASAP, because that's a really deep place to be.
100%. But the most powerful thing you can do is just recognize when you're out of balance, recognize the way you feel, because a lot of the time, sometimes when we think we know better, and let's say it could be something small that's making us unhappy, and logic will say, oh, we're just being silly, but you might logically think that, but your feelings are going to be navigating your experience. So even though you think you're being silly, you're still feeling a way about the issue. Therefore, you're going to be acting like you feel the way.
Yes.
So it's always just good to just come clean to yourself about how you feel, whether you think it's silly or whether it's not silly. Because I've been in a situation where I felt a way about something, and then in my head, my logic said, oh, that's probably not the case. So I've just kind of tried to mentally just keep it moving. But I want to avoid conflict. I don't want to have a conversation because I know or I've judged what I want to say and what I feel as something small and something silly. So I've not had a conversation, and what I'm doing, I've suppressed that in my subconscious, and it's still coming out in my behaviour and my attitude. Just something's off, and everyone around me is looking, thinking like, what the hell's wrong?
Yes.
Because you're acting with your mouth and you're talking, everything's all cool, but when your actions, you're moving like it's not. So yeah, I feel like sometimes we're trying, like, again, we're always trying to do the right thing, and sometimes it's like, forget the right thing, you got to deal with who you are right now, not, oh, okay, or ideally I should handle the situation like this. No, if you feel a certain way, like you said about the energy, like, you can't hide that, you can't fake that till you make it. If you're in your feels, you're in your feels, and it's just best, I've learned anyway, it's just best to articulate exactly how you feel. And even if you want to say, okay, this might not be the case, but look, this is how I'm feeling, at least you've acknowledged what's happening, and that gives out that other person a chance to say, you know what, it's not even like that. But when you have that conversation with that other person in your head, and then they're telling you, you talk to them in your head, having that conversation in your head, and they're telling you it's not like that in your head, then you're just kind of responding to a whole conversation that's happening in your head and not in the flesh. That's when it's just confusing for everybody.
And it's like you're just not present again. It's almost that avoidance. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, instead of actually finding out, there's just for me, there's just so much mental energy wasted on all the possible outcomes. Imagination now gets involved. Now we've got a whole story. Do you know what I mean? And it's just something big, and it could have been solved at the time in like a 30-second exchange, literally.
Yeah, I've been through it so many times. So I'm able to kind of just share like the learning, like, oh my god. And every time I do go through something, I'm just like, you know what, I thank people around me for having patience. Because I thank you for being patient with me. I'm learning.
Exactly.
Like, I'm learning. So just like give thanks for, like, if you've got family, you've got support networks around you that allow you to be able to make these mistakes in order to have these reflections to really grow from your own experience.
I love that. And just let you go through your own process. Because sometimes it is that. Also, I guess, feeling scorned for having certain emotions. And I guess it's on the belief that, do you know what I mean? It's that maybe unworthiness. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes we feel like maybe we should be loved when we're nice or good people and all this stuff. And it's like, actually, everyone deserves to be loved. And it's, if you think about source, that's unconditional.
100%.
So there's nothing you can do to be rejected or whatever, but sometimes we still have those beliefs. I know I do, where just really like old school purist beliefs, like you gotta be a good person, and it's just like,
I
what? Like, no, sometimes you gotta be angry, and that's it, and someone's not gonna like it, but if there's love there, I'm sure you'll find a way.
Definitely, it is what it is when it is that.
And that's it. Yeah. But yeah, I think that was a very interesting conversation.
So do I.
And for anyone who is going through a tough time, like literally, you're not alone in it. And I think it's so easy to look around and feel like you're the only one. And it's just not true at all. We're all human and having this experience. So if you are worried, I would always say seek help, talk to someone you trust. There's always so many different types of ways to do things, like traditional therapy, spiritually, whatever works for you is literally what you should go for. And sometimes I think we have these little inklings. So like for me, I love to dance, and then sometimes I'll hear just like, oh, I'll just dance then, and I'll dance and I'll feel better. Or just these really basic, yeah, that you don't think would actually make much difference, that literally can turn your whole energy around. And obviously it's not an overnight process, there's no one hit wonder, but I think consistently trying to, what I believe, stay in your integrity really and listen to yourself is a good way to go.
Definitely, man. Your body's always talking to you. Your actions are always speaking. Like people say, actions speak way louder than words. So just check in with yourself and just register how you've been acting, what have you been doing, and what you've been doing will tell you a lot.
Yes. Well, thank you guys. I'll definitely leave some amazing links in the description box below to certain charities. Therapy groups. Always shout out Pattigift, which is a culturally appropriate one, so it's kind of like African centered, which is great for any of my black peoples that want some therapy and maybe want someone who they can relate to. And yeah, I'm sending love and light to everyone and hope you're having a good week. And thank you, Patrice, for joining me on my channel.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. See you later, guys.
Adios.